Hello everybody and welcome back to the final episode of F1 2011. You might never see me play F1 2011 ever again after today. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in about 10 years time I'll play it again. But this is the final episode of our Codemasters Career Mode series on F1 2011. It's the Brazilian Grand Prix Season 2. You'll know I'm already world champion. I won the championship 2 rounds ago now, the Indian Grand Prix at round 17. So for the final 2 races we're doing back at grid starts. We did it in Abu Dhabi and only finished I think 12th or 13th, so it wasn't great. And today we're going to try it in Brazil, and I'm really aiming for at least a podium at what is my favourite circuit on the calendar. A quick look at the Drivers' Championship going into this round. It's already wrapped up for me, James Early. Webber and Hamilton very close for second place. Alonso retired out in Abu Dhabi, so he's not really in that battle anymore for second place in the championship. Button and Massa going after 5th place, and Rosberg trying to fend off his fellow German Sebastian Vettel in the battle for 7th place in the championship. Onto the team's championship, it's just between McLaren and Ferrari. Red Bull and Williams can no longer win the championship. Williams have slipped down to 4th, Red Bull up to 3rd. Ferrari just about holding on to McLaren, but McLaren consistently scoring with both drivers, which means they're in prime position to take the championship here today. Just before we get into this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let's jump in to the Brazilian Grand Prix. As we're not taking part in qualifying, I'll lead you around a lap of this circuit during the practice session. As you can see, it's raining quite heavily. Brazil has always been one of my favourite circuits on the calendar. Ever since I started watching Formula 1, which was back in 2007, I think it just offers great racing. Whatever type of F1 car is being presented, whether that be a large F1 car like we got now or a more nimble one or the grooved tyres, I feel like it always offers good racing. There's plenty of places to overtake, there's plenty of places to battle side by side, and as you can see right here, the weather always plays its hand as well. So you've had some legendary races that have gone from dry to dry, or wet to dry to wet, and all the sorts in between. Think back to races like the 2003 race when Giancarlo Fisichella won in the Jordan after about almost the whole grid just crashed out, or the 2007 or 2008 season finales where it went down to the wire. Is that Glock? It is Glock. And, you know, things like that. Or 2012. 2012 was one of my favourite races as well. Sebastian Vettel spun around on lap 1, had loads of damage to his side pod as well, but still climbed through to the position he needed to win his 3rd championship in a row. And in more recent years, we saw Max Verstappen have a good win here. I think he overtook Lewis Hamilton around the outside, maybe 2018, 2019. He also had the incident with Esteban Ocon. It was quite memorable. Or Hamilton's fight back through the field in 2021 through both the sprint race and the actual main Grand Prix. But it's a great track. It's just brilliant. For the final time this season, we're about to go racing. Sunny skies right now, but there is a chance of rain. Not a massive chance, 29%, which, as far as I understand, means that 29% of the race will be in rainy conditions. Which might be in the middle of the race, might be towards the end, who knows. Starting in 24th place is once again Mark Webber on pole position. That's his back-to-back poles for Mark Webber. Alonso there in 2nd, Hamilton in 3rd place with his teammate Button alongside him. It's McLaren's to lose right now. Massa on the back of his 2nd victory of the season. He starts in 5th place ahead of Vettel and Rosberg. 6th and 7th starting here, but there is 7th and 8th in the championship respectively. Well, actually, the other way around. Rosberg's ahead of Vettel. Petrov, Heidfeld and Schumacher Rani out of the top 10. Then we have the usual suspects in the midfield and back of the grid as well, with my teammate Barrichello starting up in 17th place early, starting 24th. There'll be 36 laps to this race, and we're starting on brand new option tyres, a 3-stop strategy. Options to the primes, to the primes, to the primes, and then to the end of the race, the end of the season, the end of the championship, and the end of F1 2011. Can we get onto a podium? Could we win the race? Let's find out. Well, there's only one more thing to do, and that's go racing. The 2011 Brazilian Grand Prix is next. I love this track. We're going to make some moves today. It's not going to be like Abu Dhabi where we struggled to even get close to the points. We're going to score some big points today. 5 lights are on and we are underway here for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the season finale. And Karthikeyan and Liuzzi already pulling away from me ever so slightly. As we run down to turn 1, we'll just be nice and cautious for the opening exchanges. We don't want to lose a front wing. We've lost too many front wings this season. As we just get a switch back there on Karthikeyan to pull side by side with the HRT. The Indian driver on the left, the British driver of James Early on the right-hand side as we run down the Retroposta towards the end of Sector 1. And turn 4, got to be cautious on the brakes. Karthikeyan sending up the inside of Timo Glock, who's been bullied down to last place. Karthikeyan struggling to get on the power on the exit turn 4, through turn 5 and up towards turn 6 now. I'll have the inside line on the HRT to gain yet another place. I'm thinking the hairpin here. If I believe this is turn 7 or turn 8, up the inside of Karthikeyan's teammate Fitzantonio Liuzzi, who crashed into me in Abu Dhabi on lap 1 and gave me a drive-through penalty, which I was not happy about. But we're making good moves here. Fellow Italian of Liuzzi, Jarno Trulli in 20th place right in front of me, who's also seemingly struggling for grip, or maybe that's just a lackluster car performance as we go to the inside this very famous corner. Zhongkao, I believe it's called. And we're already up to 20th and maybe 19th place before the end of lap 1. This is exactly what I expected from Abu Dhabi, and it never really happened. But today it's working very well. Run on the Force India of Subtle and Kovalainen and potentially my teammate Barrichello to make it a triple overtake here, up to 16th. We have DRS here, lap 3 on De Resta, who also has DRS on the car ahead of him. We're sort of maxing out at 313 kilometers an hour before slamming on the brakes. Alonso 12.3, I'm a 12.9. I've got a few more tenths within me as well, so I'm pretty sure I'm basically on leader's pace. Oh my god. I'm very lucky there not to lose a front wing. I was about to mention that I'll just take my chances when they're presented to me. They almost cost myself a chance today already. This should be enough of a run to at least get side by side with the Force India. Oh, not really. We're going to send it though anyway. I'll brake later than him. We had a great battle with him on the final lap in Abu Dhabi. And we're side by side here through turn 2. Oh, he holds onto it. Good defence there from De Resta, holding it around the outside of turn 1. Now on the run down towards turn 4. I'll use a bit of curves, pull side by side with the Force India, and outbrake him into turn 4. Oh, there's somebody off there. Who's that? Looks to be... Is that Kobayashi? No, it's Perez, and he's holding up Buemi now. I think Perez might have lost... he's not lost the front wing, but he definitely had contact, which forced him out wide at turn 4. Oh, he's broke so early. That's ridiculous. It's going to give Buemi a chance to get back round the outside of me. Can he do it? Yes, he can. The Swiss driver moves back up a position and covers the inside line for the next corner, which keeps me back in 15th place. Yeah, we're maxing out here. We're not actually closing. Still see if I can send it to the inside. I don't have enough confidence on the brakes into turn 1 to outbrake him there, but I should be able to get him down this next straight with a bit of curves. Saying that, we are quite far behind, but we are getting closer, closer, closer. To the inside we go under braking to take that place away from Buemi. Oh, I've killed him. Oops. Dumping all the curves. We're boxing this lap anyway to get a run on Perez. It's turn 4. This time I'm not going to crash into anybody. Oh, that was close. I had to lift off there to avoid Perez. Maybe sending it up the inside of turn 5 is viable for me. With the confidence I have, yeah, sure, why not? 13th place. I don't see anybody else pitting on the minimap, so it might just be me boxing here. As we'll send it in from 13th place. We're going to rejoin in 15th. We've got drivers in the pits now, including my teammate, who's stopping on his marks. He might be just about moving again now, but we'll be ahead of him, so up to 14th we go. Perez just rejoining on the left. I think we've just done enough to move ahead. Yes, 13th. So we're ahead of Perez. I think we're just about 4-5 seconds maybe behind Michael Schumacher. I don't have much pace on these prime tyres. It was a real clean lap, but it was about 7 tenths slower than what I managed on the options on about lap 2 or 3 of this race. And Schumacher right now, he's pulling away. I can't escape Perez right now. He's stuck right in my DRS zone. I'm pushing. I am pushing. I do remember Brazil being a really tough track at the end of Season 1 as well. And I thought it was down to the setup again. But I've made sure to load a custom setup this time. Or maybe the AI are just good at this track. 12.2 from Webber. That's the fastest lap of the race right now. Let's see what I can manage on this lap. It's been green sector 1 and green sector 2. It's a 13.1, so I'm 9 tenths off Webber's. If you can see the minimap in the bottom left, I believe there is a trainer cars going towards Zhongkao now. I think they're the back markers. And then the next trainer car is going up towards the hairpin of turn, I think it's 10. They're the leaders. So once they catch the back markers, I think we'll be closing in. Alguersuari's into the pits. I think that's actually his first pit stop. And I think he's just rejoining now. Yeah, I can just about see him behind the barriers in front. It's very close between me and the Toro Rosso. This is for 12th place, and he's out ahead of me. I think relative to the AI, I get quicker nearer the end of the stints. They seem pretty quick when they're on fresh tyres, but I feel like their tyres wear more than it does for me. And there's traffic. I spot traffic. Thank you, Glock. Really slowed down Alguersuari for me, and he slowed down Schumacher as well. Got a run on Alguersuari here. He's still on the outside. I broke nice and deep into turn 1 to claim 12th. And now let's see if we can get after Schumacher here. And suddenly I've set purple for sector 1. And there's more traffic up ahead. Right, we'll just take no prisoners here. If there's even the slightest opportunity, we overtake. Surely there's a chance here. Oh, where do we go? Maybe to the outside of Schumacher. He's dive bombed D'Ambrosio. That's, yeah, fair play. Nice one, Michael. 41-year-old, I think, at this point. Now he's stuck behind Karthikeyan. Let's go to the outside. See if we can get that cut back. He's really squirrely on the throttle. He's on the softer compound tyres as well. Yep, that works. That totally works. Oh, we're boxing anyway. Right. That was great. Into the pits we go from 11th place. Schumacher was in as well, and we're out ahead of the Mercedes. I think there was a Force India also into the pits, and we're going to rejoin in 14th. Schumacher's on the option tyres again, so I think he's committing to an extra stop. Maybe a lot of the front runners are on 4 stops, and I'm on a 3 stop. And that's how this race is going to pan out on strategy. Load of drivers into the pits. I think a few of them are a lap down. But Barrichello is in, my teammate, so we'll move at least past him. It completely slipped my mind that we're expecting rain in this race as well. So that's going to be something else that spices things up. Oh, I've hit some carbon fibre. I think in real life that would have been front right explodes and I'm into the wall. Sort of like Alonso's crash here in 03. We are catching a group of cars and I'm almost certain most of them are on the lap I'm on and they're not back markers. We've made it within DRS range of Petrov, who is closing in on, that's got to be Kobayashi. I think it can't be Perez. I took him out. Oh, it is Perez. The guy I took out the race earlier. There was a driver in the pits as well, so we're up to 11th, and now suddenly this battle with Perez is for a points position. Let's see if we can get the run here down towards turn 4. I'll dump a load of curves to get close. I've already made contact with Perez through this corner once today. I'm going to try and avoid doing that for a second time. I'm just going to send it. I'm going to send it under braking. Oh, yeah, that's a dive bomb. Love that. Still got it slowed down. Still met the apex. So that's a fair move. Might get a run on Petrov here. Yes, we're definitely going to get a run. He's not that quick in a straight line. So we move side by side with the Lotus Renault across the line to start lap 22. As we apply the brakes for turn 1, we're up to 9th place. Got to go into lean mix for a bit because fuel's down to optimal. I'll stick with lean mix, maybe just in the middle sector. 10 minutes until the rain arrives, and who knows how heavy it's going to be. What's the intensity, I wonder? Closing up to a gaggle of cars? I don't think that's the correct terminology. A group of cars ahead. I can see both Ferraris. And that's Felipe Massa into the pits at his home Grand Prix. So we're up to 8th. 7th, actually. Jenson Button's in as well. I can see Hamilton and Alonso going side by side up ahead. McLaren versus Ferrari for the constructors in the championship standings and on track. And there's Rosberg into the pits. We're going to go for the overcut. We're boxing this lap 26. Let's see if we've done enough to close up to either Massa, Button or Rosberg as we go into the pits. Oh no, Button was right behind me before I even went into the pits. But we boxed from 6th place. It wasn't the quickest stop, and Rosberg's already gone through, and we're going to rejoin in 11th. So when do those other guys pit? Because there's no way they can get to the end. The likes of Alonso, Hamilton, and whoever that was just ahead of them. They've got to pit before the end of the race. And now the rain is only 5 minutes away, and that's just an estimate. It could start raining any second now. Now there's action in the pit lane. I reckon we might have done enough to jump up ahead of a couple of those. We were only, 2 seconds behind Hamilton and Alonso before we pit. As into turn 1 we go. We're back up into the points. I think that's Hamilton on my left-hand side right now. Alonso's just a slight bit ahead of him. I'm going to dump the curves here to see if we can get a run into turn 4. I don't think we're close enough. Oh, we're not close enough. 10th place then. Oh dear, that's Alonso off. Thank you very much. Double overtake. and we're up to 8th place. Rosberg's having trouble with Kovalainen and one of the Virgins, probably D'Ambrosio, so that's an easy position. Oh, it's Glock. Oh my god, why did I do that? I just refused to lift. But we're up to 7th place. And now it's raining. Lap 30 out of 36, and the rain is starting to fall. There won't be time for intermediates just yet. Massa's got some traffic. It's Jarno Trulli. Jarno Trulli versus Felipe Massa here for not a position. This is Massa's 6th place. In front of the home crowd, of course. And I'm trying to spoil the party. As we have DRS, there's drivers also into the pits. Most likely a lapped car. Massa struggling for pace down the main straight. And to the inside we go. To move up into 5th place as there was a driver in the pits. Maybe a driver putting on the intermediates. I'll have to check the race director. But for now, we're up into 5th place. So 5 laps to go, including the lap I'm on. And nobody's made the switch to intermediates yet. So it's clearly not the switchover point or the changeover point. Depending on when the AI pits, if they do pit, it might just be worth me staying out till the end. I think Massa's going to have a run on me here. I'll just park it in the middle of the track and let him make the move. 3 laps to go. We're catching Vitaly Petrov, but Massa will not leave me alone. He's looking to put on a show for his home crowd, but I'm not going to let him pass very easy. I'm not going to let him pass at all. And can I say, what a fantastic end to the season this is. Of course, Brazil's going to throw up the weather curveball. And it's been a great battle through the grid from 24th on the starting grid all the way up into the top 5, which was our aim going into this one. I think... Oh, Petrov's pitting. That is very funny. Thank you for 4th place, Petrov. Massa stays out, though. 10 seconds to 3rd place, Sebastian Vettel. I think that's a bit out of reach. Unless he also decides to pit for some reason with 1 lap to go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, yes. Saved it. These are treacherous conditions now. It's definitely intermediate conditions, but it's too late to box. We just have to stick it out and hope for the best. I'm starting to form a train behind me. They're so much quicker as we start the last lap of the race. I've just got to be perfect in every single braking zone to hold on to these positions. Otherwise, Massa and Hamilton will just rush past me. I've been so cautious in the middle sector. I think there's about a train of 5 cars behind me now. As we're rounding that final corner now, Jenson Button wins the race, and now it's just the run up towards the line for me to navigate. It should be very easy, but in these conditions, it's quite difficult. And Massa's not going to be able to do it. We're going to claim 4th place to see out F1 2011. I'm very happy with that result. What a way to end the season. Button winning with Webber and Vettel completing the podium. Early in 4th place after starting in 24th. Massa starts and finishes in the exact same place. Hamilton slipped back in the race to finish in 6th ahead of Alonso, Rosberg. 9th place Schumacher and Kamui Kobayashi picking up a point. Alguersuari just missing out. But honestly, the whole grid was really close. Vitaly Petrov, 12th place. He pits so late on. I don't know why he did. But he only finished less than 30 seconds off the race lead. Barrichello in 15th place. What is his final race in Formula 1 in front of his home crowd as well. The Brazilian is... he's had a great career. Lots of victories. Lots of number 2 driver mentions. But I'm sure he'll be happy with how he drove in his career. So we see 2 DNFs at the back. Heidfeld and Buemi. And a quick look, finally, at the official and final standings in the Drivers' Championship, with James Early being crowned champion for the F1 2011 season, leading Mark Webber by 51 points at the end of that one, and Webber comfortably ahead of Hamilton in the end. And Button's late resurgence, with his first victory of the season, of course, and 3 back-to-back podiums to close out the season, climbing him above Fernando Alonso, who only just beat Felipe Massa. Sebastian Vettel's result today actually brought him above Nico Rosberg and the lead German in the championship. He's ahead of fellow German Rosberg, Heidfeld and Schumacher, who round out the top 10. Sergio Perez in his 2nd season in Formula 1 with 53 points to his name and 11th place in the championship. I'd say Narain Karthikeyan is the most impressive. He has scored points in multiple races, could have scored even more points and was the lead HRT driver and helped HRT to 10th place in the Constructors' Championship right there. 23 points for HRT. And McLaren won quite comfortably in the end after this season, and Red Bull jumped up above Ferrari at that final race, and Williams unfortunately slumped down to 4th place, 77 points adrift of the eventual Constructors' Champions. And that, my friends, is the end of F1 2011 on this channel, until for some reason I might play it in years' time again. But for now, that is the end. In our Codemasters series, at least, we'll be moving on to F1 2012. We're going to start with HRT, and you'll see episode 1 for that in the near future. Not sure when. If you did enjoy this this series so far, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you all in 2012. Goodbye.